Hello everyone, I'm coming on today to do a tutorial on how to make this origami pen pot. I showed this on my channel quite a long time ago and people said they would like to have a tutorial, but I didn't quite get around to it at the time, so I'm sorry it's been so long in the making, but at long last I've got a bit of time and I can show you. So basically you need 6 pieces of paper that are square. And it's up to you what size you make it. You can make them bigger, smaller, but this particular size, which here you can see one that I filled with pens. So this particular size is an 8 by 8 paper. As I said, you need 6 pieces of paper. You can use double-sided or you can use single-sided, it doesn't matter. There are different ways of decorating if you use one or the other. So to start off, you get your piece of paper and you fold it in half, and it is important that the paper is exactly square, and that you're very careful with the folding mechanisms. As always with origami, you have to be quite precise. And then you unfold it, and then you fold up the bottom end so that it meets the score line in the middle, and then burnish it. And you do the same thing, bring down the top flap and fold that so that it meets that score line in the middle. Okay, so now you've got 4 columns. So then you turn it round and you do exactly the same in the other direction. So taking the columns, you bring up the bottom edge to the top edge, make sure that it's square, and fold it down, burnish it, and then bring the bottom edge to the middle. I have to say it's very easy to do this, and it's very effective, and the pen pot actually holds an enormous amount of stuff. But you don't have to use it for pens. You could use it for makeup brushes or other things of that ilk. So okay, so now I've folded it in both directions, and so I've got 16 squares. So you open it out, and now here, if you're using double-sided paper, this is where you have to decide which side you want on the outside, because you need the side that you want on the inside uppermost. And you take the corner and you fold it so that it's level with the score lines, these 2 score lines. So basically you're just folding this first square in half diagonally, and you do that on all 4 corners. It's got a bit of okay, and then you fold those corners that you've tucked in, you fold them onto the inside like that. So you end up with a shape like this. Again, just burnish all the fold lines, and you turn it over and you fold the bottom where there's a score line, you fold that up, and again just burnish it, and the top part you fold over as well. The top first set of squares fold over, so you end up with a shape like this. Now if you've got double-sided paper, as I have in this particular pen pot that I made, you will end up with the reverse of your double-sided paper in this little window, if you want it. If you don't want it and you want to put something else there, then there is a trick that you can do. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to slot one of these ends into the other like that. I'll just show you without any decoration first. So you fold them in like that, and to go. There we go. So you can see that you might end up with a bit of a crease in the middle, or something. Maybe I haven't done this quite right. I don't know. It should be right, but it doesn't seem to. Anyway, so so basically you will end up anyway with this fold showing. Now you can leave it like that if you want and decorate it on the outside, or you can use a piece of card which measures 3.5 by 2, so that, and you slot it into this gap first of all, so it should fit snugly and not overlap this edge, here. So it should sit snugly there, and then you can pop it into the other side like that, and just put the two together. There you are. This is the shape that you've got. You've got a triangular shape with a coloured square here and no lines showing. So you need to do this to all 6 pieces of card, of your double-sided paper. So I'll just run through it again. So you take your piece of paper, you fold it in half in one direction, open it up, fold in the top and the bottom so they meet the middle fold line, turn it around, fold the bottom up to the top so that it meets, open it up, fold the bottom end to the middle, and then fold the top bit to the middle. You decide which side you want of your paper you want to be on the outside, and with the other side uppermost, on each corner you fold in the top square as a diagonal, on a diagonal. So you just fold in the top square like so, and then you fold in your paper like that, so you get this shape. Then you fold it over and you fold up the first set of squares, or the first score line, you fold it up, burnish everything very well, fold down the top corner, that fold, and burnish it very well. If you want to use something to cover up the creases, then you slot it into your space. Now this one is slightly too big, so I'm just going to cut it down. I suppose there will be a little bit of variation depending on how you've actually folded the thing, or whether it was exactly 8 by 8. These should have been 8 by 8, but anyway, I hadn't cut it straight. I think that's what the problem was. So you've put that in so that it's snug against this side, and then you slot that, you put the piece with the card in on top of the piece which hasn't got any card on, and you just slot the two together. Oops. This part is the most fiddly part, but it isn't that fiddly. I'm making it look a bit fiddly, but it's just as always when you do things on camera, they never seem to go as well as when you're not on camera. So, as we know, I think we all know that, and you end up with a shape like this. It's a triangle with your printed square in the middle. So so I'll just do another one like that. Okay, so this piece of paper hasn't been folded in the other direction. Just thinking, what's the matter with it? So I think that, you know, and this is it's a lovely way to make a present, actually. I've made a few of these as presents. I had a little order to make 6 presents. So there we are. So we turn it over, and so fold up the first bottom edge and fold down the top. And then I'm going to put my piece of card inside. Again, it's slightly big. And just cut off a smidgen at the end. Yeah, it's not straight. Okay, so I pop that in. It doesn't matter that it's slightly smaller this way, because that's going to be hidden anyway when you slot it in, so that doesn't matter. It can be quite a lot smaller, in fact, if you know, you're using up some card and it's not quite long enough. Well, don't despair, it's all right. So there we are. So I've now got 5 like this, because I did a few earlier, as you can imagine. And the last one, which I've got here, I'm going to leave open. I mean, I'm going to leave it without any coloured square inside. And I'm going to show you how I decorated the outside, but that doesn't, you know, you don't have to follow what I do. You can do whatever you like. But I'm just going to show you with this. This is basically because I didn't have enough purple card to fit 6, to make 6 inserts. So with the last one, I'm just going to slot one inside the other without any colour. So I'm going to end up with a white inside, and I'm going to end up with that score line showing, and it is a bit ugly, I have to say, unless I don't know why sometimes it's easier to slot one in than the other, so I'm going to try the other way. This one doesn't want to go in at all. Okay. Now, I originally saw this on the lovely Mixed Up Papercraft Sam Colcott's channel. So if you want to go over and see her making it, she probably does a much better job than I do. You know, please do. It's, right, okay, I've made a real mess of this, but as you can see, eventually it has folded and gone together. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see the inside, this bit is a bit ugly, but anyway, we will deal with that in a minute. So the way I put them together is I do 2 3s because I just found that a bit easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue one edge. This is the outside, so we don't want to glue that. So we're going to glue one edge to the other. So I'm just going to use tacky glue, but you can use double-sided sellotape if you want to, or the red liner tape, whatever you want. But I do think glue probably is the best, because that way, you know, you can make sure that it's not going to come apart, which I find sometimes with tape, you know, if it sort of strains and doesn't like it, it could come apart quite easily. So I put lots of glue, and now I'm just going to pinch those edges together there, and pinch these edges together there, and I'm going to clamp the top and the bottom with a paper clip or whatever, and that's basically just to let them what's the word? Let them stick together. So I'm just going to do another one. So again, plenty of glue around the edges, because that's very important. And then obviously you line them up so that the tops and the bottoms are level. You know, you don't want an uneven base or an uneven top. So I've lined those up. Okay, and I'm just going to squeeze that together so that the glue gets right to the edge. And I'm going to glue, excuse me, I have to go and answer the doorbell. Okay, sorry about that. The doorbell rang. I hope my glue hasn't stuck in funny places. So I'm just going to put these bulldog clips here and here. Now the way I find it easiest to do is to do it in 2 halves. So I'm going to do the other half now in the same way. So put glue all around the edges. plenty of glue, and stick these two together. And the beauty, as we all know, of using wet glue is that you do have a bit of wiggle room if the two pieces don't stick exactly together. So, okay, so I'm going to take the bulldog clips off here now and put them on here. You know, they do stick very quickly. Here you can see it's coming apart. So just leave it for a little bit to set, and then just do the other one. So we are. I did make one of these with just three little compartments, and I put a box on the other side, on the other end, for paper. Somebody wanted something like that, and it worked very well. I was very pleased with it, you know, because of course I had to make it up myself, how the measurements, etc. But it did turn out well. So basically it was